How many times do I have to say billion? On today's broadcast, Wealthfront wants you to know they crossed another round number in AUM. ByAllAccounts is now aggregating over $1 trillion in investor assets, and Morningstar is out with a new iPad app for financial advisors. So get ready, FPPad Bits and Bytes begins now. Hey everyone, I'm Bill Winterberg, and thank you for joining me for this week's Green Shoots Advisor Technology News broadcast. Today's episode is brought to you by Implement Now, the Independent Advisors Practice Management Virtual Summit, hosted by Kristen Herod, broadcasting online March 16th through the 20th. When you register, you'll get access to interviews and bonus material from 22 industry thought leaders as they reveal their practice management secrets for success. And if you register by March 15th, you'll receive a copy of Carl Richards' new book, The One-Page Financial Plan. Find out all the details for this high-impact event by visiting fppad.com/implementnow. First up is news from online investment service Wealthfront, as the company announced this week that it has surpassed the $2 billion mark in assets under management, an increase of 20 times in just over 2 years. This places the automated investment service just barely in the top 100 RIA firms, measured by assets according to the Investment News RIA database. However, another online provider has also entered this rarefied territory, but with very little fanfare. That provider is mutual fund giant Vanguard, as the Vanguard Personal Advisor Services reached $10.1 billion in assets as of the end of 2014, and it's still in a limited pilot program. If you do the math, the company added nearly $8.8 billion to its platform in just 9 months, and the company is also considering offering some form of the service to financial advisors. So while the startups continue to make headlines and receive face time on cable business TV, the incumbents that the startups say they're disrupting are putting up some very impressive growth metrics of their own. For more details on the growth at Wealthfront and Vanguard, be sure to visit fppad.com/155 for the links to this week's top stories. Now, related to online asset tracking is this news from Morningstar, as the company announced its ByAllAccounts aggregation service now aggregates over $1 trillion in investor assets. I didn't say billion. Dang it! You may recall that Morningstar acquired ByAllAccounts back in April of 2014, and since then, the number of supported data sources has grown to over 20,000 from 4,500. Can you say yodely? So, what does this mean for you? Remember, most of the online investment services don't take into account the assets users have in their held-away accounts. Personal Capital is one exception, but they're not a pure online service either. The rest don't have the complete picture of their users' net worth. So if you're on the fence about incorporating account aggregation in your business, this is one area in your value proposition where you can still outperform the online competition. And finally, Morningstar also rounds out this week's broadcast as Joel Bruckenstein reviewed their new iPad app built for the needs of financial advisors. I had the opportunity to recently test the app with Morningstar's Mike Barrett as he walked me through the market research information, complete with embedded videos from Morningstar analysts, as well as the clients and portfolios view that advisors can use to stay up to date on client asset allocations, holdings, and so much more. There are a few wish list items that Bruckenstein highlighted, such as the inability to conduct any trading or rebalancing activities within the app, or the ability to view portfolio X-ray reports on aggregated accounts. Still, for a version 1.0, advisors who use Morningstar Office or Workstation in their business should find the app useful for those times they're away from their desktop computer. To read the full review of the Morningstar iPad app, as well as see news on Finametrica that didn't make this week's broadcast, head over to fppad.com/155 for the links to this week's top stories. Remember, Bits and Bytes exists because of the support of our sponsors, so be sure to check out Implement Now to learn about practice management secrets from 22 industry thought leaders. Visit fppad.com/implementnow for registration information, and if you register by March 15th, you'll receive a copy of the One-Page Financial Plan written by Carl Richards. So are you at all interested in a potential online advisor offering from Vanguard? Do you use account aggregation for held-away accounts? I want to know. Send me a message on Twitter using @BillWinterberg, or leave a comment on the FPPad YouTube channel. For FPPad.com, I'm Bill, wait for it, Winterberg. See you next time. What does it take to get some water around here? Can you see the bubbles of spit that are spraying? So while the startups continue to make head... Am I chewing gum? No, I don't think so. You better not use that out of context. Seriously. Can't believe it. Amateurs!